Welcome to That's Good Sports. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon Perna. Thank you guys for coming in. Talk a little football, a little Denver Broncos, fuck all. And, I want to talk about the NFL today. I want to answer questions because I really didn't plan much to talk about. I just figured with all the stuff happening, we could just bond together in our misery, our terrible, terrible football misery. For Broncos news, Derek Wolfe is going to move to injured reserve. That neck injury is serious, as any neck injury or spinal injury would be, and I think it's a good thing. He is moving to the IR, especially with nothing to play with right now. And I think if anybody knows anything about Derek Wolfe, it's that he is tough as nails. He's a fucking warrior. He would play through anything if you needed him to. So the fact that he's, gonna let this rest, get this checked out, I think is good. But I think longer term picture, it could be the end of Derek Wolfe's career, depending on how serious this injury is. I think we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. But the fact that he's already had issues with this before isn't a great sign. Somebody said, did I see the Ryan Shazier hit last night? I did. That is something you never like to see during a football game. It's just one of those things that reminds you how fucking dangerous it is out there every week. And that guys they're putting their well-being on the line week in and week out. So I just think that was unfortunate. I guess like the only silver lining there is, it wasn't a cheap shot on him. It was him going in for a tackle. And not that makes it any better, but at least you can't point to somebody else saying that they did that to him. So that game last night was brutal. There's a lot of nasty hits in that Bengals-Steelers game last night. I think I see a lot of you asking, well, wait, you should go on Mike High Huddle. I think you mean Mile High Huddle, and I was on there last night. So I'm on their latest podcast. So make sure you check out Mile High Huddle. Whatever their last podcast was, I am on that one. Okay, everybody asking about quarterbacks. Everybody wants to know about quarterbacks. It's all just speculation now. We nobody has any answers. My opinion doesn't matter at this point because we don't have a fucking clue what the Broncos are going to do this offseason. I think they'll pursue a veteran quarterback. Who will that be? Well, it could be right now any of the Vikings QBs because all three of them will be unrestricted free agents. That's Bradford, Keenum, and Bridgewater. If Keenum does not, for some reason, re-sign with the Vikings, and I think I don't know why Minnesota would let him go, I would take Case Keenum right now because what Case Keenum is doing is playing pretty good football behind an offensive line that hasn't been great. So, he can do well without great protection. Might be something a quarterback needs in Denver. I like Kirk Cousins still. Kirk Cousins is kind of, he's the guy, if the Broncos sign him, he can be their quarterback for a long time. I kind of like Teddy Bridgewater. It's hard to say. Bad injuries coming back off of. His 2 years in the NFL, though, he never threw more than 14 touchdowns. It was 14 touchdowns both seasons, and then the second season, just less interceptions, which I think was 9. Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think San Francisco is going to let him go. If they do let him go, then I don't think it's a good sign. So I think he stays in San Francisco. Drew Brees, I would not bet on coming to Denver. He has a good defense now. He has one of the best run games in the NFL. So I don't think that's a chance. I don't think RG3 is a real possibility. I don't think Andrew Luck is a serious possibility. I don't know why on earth, if you're the Indianapolis Colts, you would let Andrew Luck go. Maybe you could look at Jacoby Brissett to come in. That's the thing. Like, Kirk Cousins probably your best bet in terms of a veteran quarterback that will be available. So if the Broncos can get him, I think that's a huge get, and it solves a lot of their problems for a while. Eli Manning, I don't know if he would even consider coming to Denver, But I also don't know how much really good football Eli Manning has left in it. That would be my big question with Eli. It's not like he's been lighting it up until just this season. So none of these guys are surefire fixes. Kirk Cousins is the closest one to helping. And I think even if the Broncos do get a guy like Kirk Cousins, and as much money as that's going to cost them, they got to draft another quarterback. And I don't know enough about the college quarterbacks to give you guys an educated, opinion on it. Who's it? Rosen, Allen, Mayfield, Darnold if he comes out. I don't know. They need a quarterback, though. That's what we know. That's what we freaking know. Lamar Jackson. That's the guy from Louisville, some shit. Josh Allen, Josh Rosen. Lots of Joshes available. That's what I take away from that. Joe Namath is getting old. But then, you had Vance Joseph doing another press conference this week. And I don't know why people are so critical of his press conferences. I don't think a coach who puts on a good press conference is any indication of how he's coaching the team or, how it affects their play. I think what was everybody giving him shit for this week? He said something like "no more surviving." Which, is a stupid slogan, but I think he's basically mean we're not going to just try to make it through games anymore. But he got ripped to shreds for it. And I'm not saying I'm not sitting here saying he's good. I'm just saying it doesn't fucking matter what a coach says during a press conference. Bill Belichick gives the worst press conferences on earth. He is the worst human being to listen speak at the podium talking about his team. So, I don't really give a shit what Vance says during a press conference. In fact, the less the coach says, the more I'm sold that he's probably a better coach. And I think Vance tries to walk the line of being good to his players and being somewhat honest with the media. So I don't know. Who would I draft? Rosen, Darnold, or Mayfield? I would draft Mayfield. Because I went to school with a kid with the last name Mayfield, and I just feel comfortable with that name, Chad Kelly, he's on the roster. I think you're going to get a look at Chad Kelly, at least next preseason. In terms of arm talent, he's probably the best the Broncos have on the team right now. That's really all we know about Chad Kelly from college. Throws a good deep ball. What I don't know about Chad Kelly is how does he perform when the game's really on the line in big situations? And when I watch his highlights, it's just this is the thing about watching college quarterbacks. They're throwing to wide open receivers all day. Look at Chad Kelly's highlights. He's just throwing to wide open receivers all the time. So I want to see how he throws in coverage and quick reads, quick routes, those sort of things. And you don't find those, highlights on YouTube. Nobody's putting up Chad Kelly doing 10-yard hitch, great throws, shit like that. So I don't know who the coach is going to be either. That's the other thing you have to start asking. I think Vance will be gone, but what great coach is out there ready to lead this team? It's probably a coordinator somewhere. Broncos are probably hoping to find the next Sean McVay. You know what I mean? Matt Patricia is a good option, maybe. If you have the the courage to hire another coach from New England. And New England's track record of letting coaches go has not been good. So, I don't know. Maybe Patricia's different. He does have a beard that's similar to mine, which would make me assume he's somewhat intelligent. Maybe borderline genius. Mike Shanahan, I don't think he's coming back to coaching. I'm not sure that would be the right move either. Josh McDaniels might be one of the best candidates out there right now. That's not happening. The Eagles' offensive coordinator, somebody a lot of people are talking about. Nick Saban, I don't know. He's just a name. I think he's better suited for college. He had a shot in the NFL, but based on coaching history too, a lot of the times the second head coaching chance that guys get is when they actually succeed. So maybe Nick Saban. Deion Sanders, no way. God, no. Deion Sanders would be a terrible head coach. I'm not a fan of Deion. I'm not a fan of Neon Deion. Jim Harbaugh, yeah, another big name out there that if you can get him away from Michigan, maybe. I see John Nah in here. John Nah here talking about the Chargers. Living in L.A., loving his Chargers now that they're probably going to win the AFC West because they have a good defense now. They have two elite edge rushers. Aqib Talib was talking about how good their corner is, Casey Hayward. And Talib also said that him and Chris Harris were talking about the wide receivers they've covered this season, and they said the toughest guy that they have faced is Keenan Allen. So, John Nah, you're onto something. Your Chargers actually have a chance. Yeah, I would insert myself as coach. I don't know if I'd be a great head coach, but I would be more of a good, I think, front office type guy. Front office, making player personnel decisions, reminding Elway what the fans are feeling. You know, I could be the fan ambassador. That should be my title. Dave Logan. No, I don't think Dave Logan would be a good coach either. He's been away from the game way too long. He talks about football on fucking radio. I don't think he would be even close to a good head coach right now. Yes, and I wouldn't do it for less than 6 figures. You're 100% correct. Dave Tobe. Oh, that's the Chiefs special teams coordinator, right? That interviewed. I think right now you could say every head coach John Elway interviewed besides Vance Joseph was probably the better choice based on how this season has gone. Yeah, Denver should have hired Kyle Shanahan. I think that's a safe bet. I think you can say that. John Elway ain't getting fired, John. Nobody's going to fire John Elway. We got to give John a chance to resurrect what he once built here, which is 2 Super Bowls as a player and 1 as a GM. So, don't talk nonsense here. Goddamn Chargers fan, John Nah. Hoyer for Cube. No, I don't want Hoyer. Hoyer couldn't cut it with Shanahan, okay? Hoyer couldn't cut it with Shanahan. I think they were supposed to interview the Chargers head coach. Maybe they did. Anthony Lynn. I can't remember if they interviewed him or if he was on the short list early on. Anthony Lynn's doing a pretty good job in Los Angeles right now too. The Chargers didn't start with that 4-game losing streak. They'd be in a much better position, too. But they're going to have to fight tooth and nail through the whole goddamn season, John. What else? Ben McAdoo, yeah, done, out the door. Made a good video about McAdoo this week. If you didn't watch the McAdoo video, you probably should. There's some good jokes in that one. What about the 3 QBs from Minnesota? I already talked about him. But if the Broncos could get Case Keenum, I think I'd be happy. I think he's playing really well. But he also has 2, I think, of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL in Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. And a pretty damn good tight end in Kyle Rudolph. So, and you know, he also is benefiting from a very good Vikings defense. I wouldn't want to play against them. That's why he's in a good situation there. And that's the thing, like, it's all about your quarterback on top of having talented and smart. It's got to be the right fit with the right offensive coordinator and head coach. Keenum and Goff both look like shit last year. New coach for each of them, and they look a hell of a lot better. So that's really like whoever the Broncos go with as a head coach, that's going to be a huge determining factor in what quarterback they bring in. So, the next head coach, if they are high on one of the college prospects, that's going to be, I think, Denver's path. And if they're high on one of the free agents this offseason, that's going to be what they want to do. But those are all guesses. Those are all just big old freaking guesses. We don't know. There's a ton of things to fix, though. And I think Elway hinted at today that there's going to be a ton of changes this offseason. People are talking about everybody getting cut. But I think, the coaching staff's going to change. Obviously, there's going to be a new quarterback. I think contracts they're going to be looking at are Demaryius Thomas, maybe trading a guy like Emmanuel Sanders because he has value. People are saying that they're gonna cut C.J. Anderson. If I were them, I would try to restructure C.J.'s deal because I think C.J. is a smart running back. He's great in pass protection, and that would be a great asset to whatever quarterback you bring in there. And he runs hard as fuck every time they give him the ball. So maybe if C.J. reworks his deal, they can keep him. DT, if they can restructure that, and I think. Other people are saying Aqib Talib that they would cut him, but again, I would not. I would try to extend Aqib Talib's contract and restructure that as well. If you can keep Aqib Talib and Roby and Harris together for a couple more years, I think that is a good thing for the defense. The linebacker position is something I think they'll address in the draft finally. I think we thought they would do that last year and the year before when they let Danny Trevathan go, but. I think linebacker position is something they'll upgrade, but I don't know. There's going to be a lot of reworking of shit. This offseason is going to be crazy. Should be good for my channel. I should get a lot of good views of crazy breaking news. O-line needs to be fixed. Well, that's the thing. The O-line's better. The offensive line is better. You've got a tackle in Garrett Bowles who should get better with more experience if he could stop getting so many penalties. We know Matt Paradis is a good center, and Ron Leary is solid at the guard position. So really, you need a second guard and you need a right tackle. Or a left tackle, and you can move Bowles over to right tackle. So tackle and a guard, you get that line shored up. That'll be huge. But we've said that for 2 off seasons now as well. It's not that easy. I don't know. I feel like the Broncos are becoming a less enticing destination for players to land. So that's the other thing Elway's going to have to deal with now. Because, with Peyton Manning, when he got him, everybody wanted to play here. And now that shit's changing. So, and then I saw somebody just said they're an Eagles fan. Goddamn Eagles had to lose. Had to lose. I picked 4 games this week. I made a video about 4 games. I got them all right except the goddamn Eagles game. But I'm not too worried about the Eagles. I thought if they lost, it's because they hadn't played a good team in like a month and a half. And 9 or 10 game win streak, that's hard to maintain. So, about Philadelphia, I think they'll bounce back this week. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think Jamal Charles will be back, even though he's kind of just been underutilized. But he's getting older. And you have D'Angelo Henderson, who we all saw do some cool things in the preseason. I would like, these next few games, I would like to see some more of D'Angelo Henderson. We know C.J. Anderson's going to be good. So, more Henderson. Okay, you want me to make somebody just super chatted that they want me to make a bad face. I hope that was worth your $2. I hope that was worth your $2. Oh, yeah, Isaiah McKenzie's going to be benched for the rest of the season, according to Vance Joseph, which I get why you would do that, but if you believe he's the talented return man that you drafted him for, why not keep letting him play when the games don't fucking matter? He should have been benched when he was struggling a long time ago, but right now, you've got nothing to lose, so see if he can find some sort of rhythm and get some confidence. Because if he plays the last 4 games, doesn't fumble a ball, has some great returns, then maybe you feel better going into next season that Isaiah McKenzie can be that guy. But if you bench him now, you're gonna have the same questions like next training camp. So I don't know why bench you. I don't know why you'd bench him now. It doesn't fucking matter. Jordan Taylor can catch the ball. We know that, but he's not. I don't think he's dynamic enough to be a good return man. So really, you got to find out. You got to find out if McKenzie can cut it. If he can cut it, then you don't cut him. If he can't cut it, then you cut him. That's what you got to find out these next 4 weeks. That's what I would do. Patrick Henry, $1 super chat. Patrick, but thank you for the $1. Titans Tube says we can have Eric Decker back. You know what, Titans Tube? I think you guys just aren't taking advantage of Big Dick Decker. He spawned the entire Big Dick Player Award. I saw Decker catch a ton of touchdowns last season for the Jets. So maybe Marcus Mariota should throw Decker the fucking ball in the red zone. That's where he's good. But I don't think we want him back either, to be honest, Titans too. He's getting old. Patrick Henry, $1 donation. You're a good man. You're a good man. AJ McCarron, I don't know why he's not the quarterback for the Bengals right now. John Nah, greeting with Titans Tube. I don't know what. Tell me what's going on with the Titans. Ooh. Mr. Tim Manity. Another super chat. Thank you. Every time I watch the Titans, they're losing. Every time I don't watch them, they win. So every time I've seen them play, they look like shit. And then I look at the results of the game, and they're winning. So what is going on with your Titans? And can they catch the Jags? Can they catch the Jags? But what I was saying, AJ McCarron, why is he not the quarterback at the Bengals? They still believe in Andy Dalton? I don't know. Marvin Lewis, he could be on the hot seat. You want Marvin Lewis as your next head coach? Got a lot of experience. Pecco, what about Pecco? I hope the Broncos keep Pecco. I think he's under contract for maybe 2. Maybe it's just 1. I don't know. Maybe it was just 1 guaranteed and they could cut ties with him next year. I haven't looked at it. Okay. What do we got here? Amendola would be... Nah, if the Patriots cut Amendola, it means he's done. It means he's done. AJ McCarron, yeah, I'm looking for questions because I don't know what else to say now. God damn it, Brandon Cover. Tim Tebow. Who's my favorite quarterback in the draft? I don't know. I haven't done enough research on it. I don't watch college football. I'm consumed by the NFL. It's a lot of work just to try to keep up with the NFL and do all these videos. Yeah, if the Broncos could sneak Adam Gase away from the Dolphins, that would be pretty... I would take that. I would take Adam Gase as the head coach. Thank you for $2 and saying I should be the head coach. A lot of people are saying that. If we could just get, I don't know, 50, 60, 70,000 more people to say I should be the head coach, maybe Elway would do it. Maybe Elway would do it. But instead, they won't even let me into the facility to cover training camp. Yeah, what are the Broncos going to do with their 3 quarterbacks? I think maybe 1 will be back. I don't think Drew Brees is getting cut. I think the Saints got a team, and they've got a shot if they keep that team together to compete for the next few years. And I think Drew Brees can keep playing. So I think he stays in New Orleans. What would be my first 13 moves as GM? I don't know. I'll put together a business plan and present it to John Elway. And I'll do it wearing a tie, so he knows that I mean business. I don't think John Gruden's going to come back into coaching, and he's been out long enough. I don't know if that would even make him... I don't even know if he would be good if he came back into the NFL. Peyton Manning to the front office. The radio people like to speculate that the Manning family is going to get together and try to get a stake in the Broncos. Would the Broncos have been better with Kaepernick? Super chat question. Thank you. Yes, I think they would have been better with Kaepernick. I think you could easily say Kaepernick is better than Simeon, Brock Osweiler, and Paxton Lynch right now. So, yes, they would have. The Broncos would have been better if they got Andrew Whitworth. $12 for a 12-loss season. Thank you. I will accept that now because I've already accepted the fact that they're going to keep losing. What was I saying? Other guys they could have signed. A lot of missteps recently in the guys I feel that they have signed. Paid a lot of money for Menelik Watson. Somebody who had injury issues and it happened again. So, those are the issues John Elway's got to fix. Should we keep Darian Stewart? Yes. He's had some issues in coverage this season, but I think him and Simmons have swapped kind of roles, and that Stewart's back into what he does best. So I like Darian Stewart. We'll just say he's had kind of an off year, and hopefully he plays a little bit better next year. But I think Darian Stewart is one of the big reasons the Broncos' defense was so good, was able to win that Super Bowl. Somebody donated money so they could say Tom Brady is GOAT. I'll accept that, but I'll never accept that he is GOAT. I would argue that all day long. I would argue it tooth and nail, while kind of mildly accepting it as well. Running back, I think Broncos are in a decent running back position, so I'm not worried about that spot. What else? Baker Mayfield, Marquette King. Marquette King is a hell of a punter. Would the Broncos have been better with Britton Colquitt? Maybe this year. Dixon looked good last year. He struggled a little bit this year, but maybe because he's punting like 50 times a game. Yeah, I think letting Kyle Sloter go, as stupid as it kind of sounds, might have been a mistake. Because instead of Trevor Siemian starting this last week, you could have thrown in Sloter. You could have taken a chance on Sloter and said, let's see what we got with this guy. But maybe that would have broke Sloter. It's the way all other quarterbacks have been just killed this year. Yeah, like I said, I think Chad Kelly has a decent chance to get some good playing time next year, at least in preseason, depending on what the Broncos do, quarterback position. He's still a long shot. He's got to get healthy, and then he's got to go out there and prove he can ball in the NFL. And he's a whole year he's not playing. Kyle Sloter, are you serious? Yes, I am serious. Now, I'm not saying that I thought Kyle Sloter was going to be great, saying he was fun to watch in the preseason against the third stringers, but I'm saying as bad as the QBs have played this year, it wouldn't have hurt to throw one more out there to see what you had in him. Maybe the fourth time would have been a charm. NFC winner, Rams or Seahawks? Ooh, that's a good question. I think I'll go with the Rams because as good as Seattle always is towards the end of the season, and as good as they played against the Eagles, they still do have those big injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Russell Wilson to play lights out every game. However, if their new running back combo keeps working, then Seattle's going to be really tough to beat. Houston Texans, scary team next year. Yeah, once Houston gets healthy, I mean, they lost their three best players. So, and one was their quarterback, obviously, and Deshaun Watson. But J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless go down. You get those guys back. They'll be a scary defense. But can J.J. Watt even stay healthy for a season? That's the other question. When's the last time he made it through a full season? Is Kirk Cousins going to be a stupid big contract Sorry, I couldn't read the whole thing. It went by fast. I don't think it'd be stupid. He's going to command a lot of money, but every year the cap goes up, and every year the next team pays the next quarterback more money. So, no, I don't think it'd be stupid. I think it'd be expensive, but you got to spend money to make money, right? How good is Justin Simmons? I think Justin Simmons is pretty damn good. Second year, he's made some mistakes this season, but who on the defense hasn't? I feel like I've seen him do more impressive things than I've seen him make mistakes. So I'm excited about Justin Simmons. But yes, I would have also liked to have seen TJ Ward get to play out his final year on his contract here. So, yeah, I already answered Talib. I hope they keep him. I hope they restructure Talib's deal and extend him because he's smart, he has attitude, and he plays great football every week. And even as he gets older, he hasn't lost a step yet, but if he does get older, he's the type of guy I feel like you could move into a safety position or whatever, and he would still be a great asset to have on that defense. All right, 30 minutes. We're up 30 minutes. That's probably long enough. Will Parks, number 34. I think Will's doing a good job. They have Will Parks play all over the field, right? So, also second-year guy. I think Will Parks will be around for a while. Alex Smith, well, maybe. You can't blame all the Chiefs' problems on Alex Smith either. Wouldn't be a sexy signing, but if you had Alex Smith and they drafted a young guy and he had another Mahomes playing behind him, that might be the best case scenario. All right, thank you guys for watching. That's Good Broncos Live. Oh, it's so nice to have everybody watching. I'll have some more videos up tomorrow. Hey, man, quit saying I suck. I've seen that like 10 times now. I tried to ignore it. It really hurts my feelings. Thanks, Playboy. Thanks for saying you love me.